the superbike industry has a problem. Modern bikes are becoming so fast that most riders can barely use half of what they offer. 200 horsepower, winglets, race-level electronics. And on a racetrack, that technology makes sense. But on real roads, a lot of riders are starting to ask a different question. What actually makes a sport bike fun anymore? Because speed alone isn't enough. If it was, every rider would automatically choose a leader bike. But that's not what's happening. More and more riders are moving towards smaller, lighter motorcycles. Not because they're slower, but because they feel more usable, more connected, and honestly, more enjoyable outside of a racetrack. That's exactly why the Honda CBR850RR feels so interesting. Because instead of trying to become the craziest superbike on the market, it focuses on becoming the most complete one. And Honda has always understood this balance better than most brands. Look at the history of the Honda CBR600RR. It became legendary not because it dominated spec sheets, but because of how refined it felt when ridden hard. The control, the chassis balance, the confidence it gave riders. The CBR850RR takes that philosophy and modernizes it. An 850 cubic centimeters inline-four gives the bike enough performance to feel serious, but without entering the territory where power becomes difficult to fully use. And honestly, that middle ground is becoming more important than ever. Because today's riders don't necessarily want the most extreme machine. They want something they can actually enjoy pushing. A bike that feels fast because of how it moves, not just because of the numbers it produces. That's why lightweight handling becomes such a big part of this concept. The compact chassis, responsive steering, and mass-centralized design all work toward one thing, making the rider feel confident enough to push harder. And visually, the bike reflects Honda's personality perfectly. Sharp and aerodynamic, but clean. No oversized wings, no exaggerated bodywork, just a focused machine designed around performance. And honestly, that simplicity is what makes it stand out. Because in a market where bikes are becoming louder, more aggressive, and more complicated, the CBR850RR feels disciplined. Not built to intimidate riders, built to reward them. And maybe that's exactly where the future of sport bikes is heading. Not toward unlimited power, but toward smarter performance. Because at some point, the best sport bike stops being the one that scares you the most, and becomes the one that makes you want to keep riding.